Get ready for the impact, no way to take it back. This is the steel and canvas, this ain't no time for practice. High stakes, spectacle, adrenaline attack. Welcome to Slammin' It. Slammin' It.
And welcome to another edition of Slammin' It. I'm Mando Medina, along with my tag team partner, as always, is the Jack of Rock, Jack Lutz.
Brother.
Hey, it's kind of historic because it is old school. I mean, we're having to do the day on a Wednesday, and this is the day the show used to actually be on.
Yeah.
So a little bit of old
Like
school. We're going to talk about a lot of old school stuff. So, brother, what's going on, man? We didn't do last week, honestly, because Mexico was playing in the World Cup, and then the U.S. was playing in the World Cup, and all that is over now. It was fun while lasted, dude. Did you get into it? Did you get into it?
Dude, I've been into it, man. It's crazy to me. All the host nations are out now, and I'm wondering, like, who do I root for now? I like Norway a lot, and of course Argentina too. And England has played beautifully throughout this World Cup, man. So there are quite a few teams, man, I still really like throughout this World Cup series.
I like Norway and I like Argentina.
Yeah,
and then we'll see what happens. I mean, England is strong, but they beat Mexico, so I'm not happy about that. And then the U.S. just got embarrassed.
The cool thing is when that happened, when England beat Mexico, dude, I don't know if you saw this. There was a huge party between England people and Mexico. You know, they all got together. They partied till the wee hours, and they're like, "Whatever you do, please beat Argentina. Just beat Argentina."
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing that's been going on there about that's the beauty of the World Cup is how basically the whole world has come together, and it kind of seems like the politicians are the ones that hate each other, and the members of the rest of the world are kind of like cool with each other. So, either way, like it should be entertaining. And I'll be honest with you, I have watched a lot of the matches because they're not called games; they're called matches. It's not the field; it's called the pitch, not the field. And it's not 1-0, it's 1-0, or if it's a tie, it's a 0-0. Or the best part about the World Cup is when it gets into penalty kicks, like it did yesterday. In the Colombia game. That's the part that I love the most. And I think the reason why I get into the World Cup is because these games matter. These matches matter. Because they have so much stuff that goes into it, and it's only every 4 years, so I still think they should do two, but it is what it is. I know they got the Gold Cup, but I'm not going to get into that. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a soccer guy. I care every 4 years, as does every single American. So, it is what it is. So, I thought it was cool. I thought they've done a good job, and I've really enjoyed the broadcast. And like I said, I've really enjoyed seeing all the Instagram videos or Facebook videos or TikTok videos of foreigners coming to the U.S. and Mexico having a good time. So, normally this show we're going to talk about was going to be that Sami Zayn did the impossible because the last time we did the show, Sami Zayn was going to be taking on Cody Rhodes on Friday Night SmackDown along with Gunter, and then we would talk about who wins whatever. At the end of the day, Gunter lost, so did Cody Rhodes. So Sami Zayn, congratulations to him, was the champion. And then that lasted a total of 9 days, but the person we thought was going to beat him was not the person that beat him. Everybody thought that Cody Rhodes was going to take the championship away from Sami Zayn, and of course Sami Zayn is not happy about that. But we talked about it, Sami Zayn deserves to be a champion because everything that he has done. But at the end of the day, you kind of knew it was going to be a long run. But I didn't think it was going to be 9 days. I thought maybe another week because Saturday night's main event is a week from this Saturday. By the way, Saturday's jacked with a lot of stuff. Let me write something down real quick before I forget.
Okay.
McGregor.
I wanted to make a point here. I want to make a point here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There are more letters in the word transitional than the number of days that Sami Zayn held that title. And here's the thing. He held that title longer than Undertaker when he had a certain reign. Bret Hart had a shorter reign when he held that title as well. So, still a transitional champ.
Yep.
And did he deserve that? I don't think so because they've been planning, CM Punk and Cody. So he has every right to be angry because, here you have LA Knight, who delivered a near generational promo on Seth freaking Rollins. And what was it that he talked about? Oh yeah, all of these people, you're giving the title to a nostalgia act, somebody that just comes in, somebody that doesn't deserve a title shot. They give it to him, and you're holding the rest of us down. And what happens? CM Punk comes in. They give him a shot. He wins the title. He pulls the Hulkster vibes. So
it's not going to work for me, brother. And it's ironic that you're wearing a Hulk Hogan inspired tank top today, and there's a reason why. And I'm not gonna get it wrong. Like nWo turned 30 yesterday.
Yep.
So it's 30 years since the nWo. We are gonna get into it. I do want to whoever calls in, I do want to get your thoughts on where you were at. We got Andy waiting. He's already commenting, but Andy, I see you, bro. You're gonna be on momentarily in a couple of minutes. But I want, when it comes to nWo, first of all, we got to talk about how impactful they were and where you were in your point in life when it happened, because I can totally remember exactly what I was doing when that happened. And then, but back to the CM Punk situation. So CM Punk is now the WWE Champion, not the World Champion, because CM Punk was the World Champion for about, I would say maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes tops last SummerSlam when he beat Gunter, and then Seth Rollins cashed in. So that's, I guess you can call that a transitional champion as well for CM Punk. But Sami Zayn gets 9 days. I actually thought that maybe he'd get up at the Saturday night's main event, and maybe they do something at SummerSlam. So the rumor is, Jack, that they're going to try to treat the SummerSlam better, especially night one of SummerSlam. Yes. SummerSlam is now 2 nights, so they're going to say that they're going to try to make it better than WrestleMania, which obviously first day of WrestleMania sucked. It sucked big time.
It won't be that hard.
So.
It won't be that hard. Remember earlier we talked about where SummerSlam takes its place on the big show formats. Is it as good as Survivor Series? Is it as good as the Rumble? Is it better? Is it more prestigious? I get is what I'm trying to say when you come to the big couple shows here. So I think, like you said, they're gearing towards it. They wanted to be just as good, if not better than Mania, because SummerSlam should be an event, man. Here we are. School's out, people are on vacation, looking for things to do. They want to go someplace, so make it SummerSlam.
And the difference is that I remember SummerSlam used to be towards the end of August. Now it's the first weekend of August. Yeah. It's August 1st or 2nd or 2nd, 3rd, whatever it is. It's that Saturday and Sunday in August, the first weekend. And I think it's the 1st and the 2nd. So they've got not even under 22 days to put this together. But now other things, we were because we got to go back to last time we talked, Oba Femi won the King of the Ring. And then he said, you know what, the title, first of all, before I get your thoughts on CM Punk being the champion, your thoughts on how they just told Oba, okay, you're going to win it, but you're not going to get your title shot yet. We're going to hold off. So it's going to be kind of it's almost kind of like a Money in the Bank thing. He can challenge for the championship whenever he wants. So first of all, your thoughts that they did that and they're going to go with Brock at Hell in the Cell.
It shows the importance of the feud between Brock and Oba now at this point. And they're making it very, very important, as well as they should, because of this rubber match. So, and again, I think it's just so cool to see Oba actually deliver. He's the whole package, man. This guy is delivering promos. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He held his own against Paul Heyman, when they were going tit for tat with each other. So I think he's just, again, that rocket that's strapped to his back monster, it's not running out of fuel yet. So,
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a great thing to see that. And now when I look at it, you got Seth versus Roman, which we knew was going to happen. Now you got Cody. We know they haven't announced it, but probably going to be Cody versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. But what about Gunter? What do you do with Gunter? Gunter's the one that cost him the shot. I mean, that's the thing. And also, what about Sammy? I mean, you make it you can't make it a fatal 4-way. I mean, you can, but I don't know if they would do that. I mean, it'd be.
I think I have your answer.
Go ahead.
I think I have it. It'll probably be a number 1 contenders match between the two. Simple as that.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that.
So Sammy's out of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sammy's
he'd
all
probably
right.
go back to either rematch. He'd probably complain about the rematch, whatever, or you throw him into a number one contenders match because then Gunther has a case to have a rematch as well, and you put them together. So I can see that.
All right. So Fonzie comments talk. He says there, get hit. That's what
Yes, yeah,
what Brock told Obafemi there. So before we get to Andy here in a couple of seconds, I do want to bring up the other stuff. So of course the WWE is in Las Cruces this Saturday. They're Jack in the beautiful city of Las Cruces at the Pan Am Center, and things have changed because the last time was going to be Cody there, and then when Sammy won. Everybody's like, okay, so everybody's going to be excited that Sami Zayn is the champion now in Las Cruces. Everything changes now because the updated card that we have, at least that we've seen, they don't announce everybody. They have like maybe 5 or 6 wrestlers that they announce. You got Danhausen, which is great to see, great for the
awesome.
kids. You got Gunther, great. You got Oba. Crowd's gonna go crazy when Oba comes out. You got Seth Rollins. It still lists Cody Rhodes as coming to the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. And now you have the new WWE Champion, CM Punk, is coming to the city. The crosses, it's clobbering time. So, Jack, Andy, before we get to Andy, a couple of seconds. Jack, your thoughts now that CM Punk, Obafemi,
Okay.
Danhausen, the big ones, they're coming now to Las Cruces. It's almost like they heard us like, hey, you're charging all this money for the VIP. And what do we talk about? Like,
Yes,
oh, maybe if it was CM Punk.
yes,
Like, maybe. Like, all of a
yes.
sudden, CM Punk is going
Yeah.
to be here. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
now that you're stacking the card and now that it's becoming a little bit more clear as to what we're getting, who's going to be there, I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be a good house show. They're going to be, $1,600 worth if you're going to spend that much. If you got the money and if it makes you happy, hey, try to do it.
Yeah. So let's welcome in Andy to the program here. Andy's been waiting very patiently. Andy, I just need you to move a little bit to your right. There you go. There's my man,
Okay.
Andy. Thank you for waiting patiently, Andy. Andy, what's going on, bro? How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm still a little shell shocked and heartbroken for Sami Zayn. To be honest, he didn't deserve 9 days. But I like that you brought that up, Jack. That he's had longer reigns than Undertaker and
Mhm.
Bret Hart. So
Yep.
good for him in that sense. But he can always say they can't take it away. He can always say he was WWE champion.
Sure.
So that's only there's a what, like 4 dozen or so, close to somewhere in the 50 range. That's what
Yep.
the count was that I had heard.
Well, let me ask you,
Kane's
Andy.
first
Like,
title reign
yeah,
was one day.
that's right.
Oh,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
yep. So, Andy, like, how long did you think they're going to give him? Because I think we all agreed that it wasn't going to be that long. How long did you think? Like I said, I thought maybe like at least another week and a
I
half
thought
for
Saturday
Saturday.
night's
Yeah,
main event. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought I thought Punk would be back, and then something would happen. I mean, and people are not gonna like this, but I'm not a Punk fan. I'm not a
That's all
Punk
right.
fan,
Me neither. Me neither.
and I'm not happy that he's champion. I He's turned into what his pipe bomb message uh, spoke against, and you talked about it earlier, Jack. The little Hogan esque little that kind of stuff. The pipe bomb was epic. It's with
Yeah.
the NWO with the NWO
What's
Hogan
distracting you? I
turn.
don't know.
You know the
Yeah.
just the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, he was so polarized. He pissed off his bosses. He gets out of the business. He's let back in with AWA, and then he kind of pooped on that one. And and this is all my opinion, but I think he made his way back into the good graces of Triple H. He ate a little crow, or maybe ate a lot of crow, and so he says and does the things that are required. But I think deep down inside, he's just bitter, bitter, bitter.
Well, I agree with the bulk of what you just said. CM Punk has become everything that he's hated. You die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's exactly what has become with him. And he's a company man now. He shills everything that WWE tells him to do, to say, and he does it gladly. He did it for that Saudi money there too. He ate crow. He apologized for his comments that he made before to regarding the Saudi situation. Then when they go up there, he's like, I'm sorry. That's not. I don't know. This is corporate controlled CM Punk that we're seeing now. And at the end of the day, I think we all have rose-colored glasses on when we see him wrestle. He is not the best in the world. He is not as good as he once was. He kind of reminds me of how slow RVD was when he got to TNA. It's just, I think he's a shell of a man who he once was.
He's a little bigger. I mean, he bulked up quite a bit.
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
so as the CM Punk fan that's in this group right now, allow me to defend my boy. So first of all, he's still the best on the mic. You can't deny that he's the best on the mic, because when he's on the mic, it's like he's not even trying. He just comes naturally. You can't teach that. As much as you want to go to school for that, something like that, it's just natural. So he's great on the mic. Yeah, he's a little bit slower, but my man is 47 years old. But at the end of the day, the problem with the WWE is that they have not created enough young stars where they can just say, hey, like I said, and not for odd reasons, they like put the brakes on Braun Breaker. So that it's funny that Breaker, and they put the brakes on Braun Breaker because it's sad that he's back in the tag team situation. He's the champion. I know Maxine Dupree finally got together with Austin Theory, but still back to Punk. I mean, he's still selling tickets, and let's be honest, do we really think that Sami Zayn was going to be the guy who can put the rocket? And the Derek, who commented last week, and Derek, I'm sorry we didn't do a show last week because he was the one that said people are going to be happy with Sami's champion. He says that he's not sure if Sami Zayn's reaction on social media was a work, but he's selling it very well. And if I was Sami, I'd be upset as well because it was only 9 days. I think he deserves to be. Honestly, I think he deserved to be all the way to SummerSlam. And maybe you make it a 3-way match between him, Cody, and CM Punk. I knew CM Punk was. I didn't say we thought CM Punk was going to be back because Monday Night Raw was in Chicago. I did not expect him to be the champion. I thought he should have beaten Roman Reigns at WrestleMania because that was a great match. So the fact that you got, and plus the reason why they put the championship on CM Punk is that they're going to move him to SmackDown, and you need a big star on SmackDown because right now I think we can agree that SmackDown's been a little bit stale. I know they got Cody, they got Gunter, but CM Punk just is going to inject. He hasn't been on TV for 3 months. He's going to inject some life into SmackDown. That's the reason why they're doing it. So, and plus they got to turn Sami heel. I want to see a heel of Sami Zayn again, So I think they should do that. That's why I look at it. But I was not expecting to see Punk to win the championship. I thought that maybe somebody was going to interfere, like maybe Gunter, like, hey, like I stopped Cody from getting a shot. CM Punk, I'm going to stop you from getting your shot. But they pulled the trigger. And the thing is that we weren't expecting that at all. So, like, we're always complaining that WWE is becoming predictable when they do something that we're not expecting. Some of us are still going to be upset, But
and also, what it is. I don't know, but not in a good way, I don't think. It's everything that LA Knight talked about that came into fruition.
It's hilarious.
So, yeah.
So Domingo says that he was stunned with Sami's reign was cut so short. But he says it's long overdue, and this is a great comparison. Reminds him of Darby Allin's, but like I said, at least Darby Allin had the championship for a month, and he actually defended it at least 6 times before he lost it. He didn't lose that on his first title defense. He continues, and it says, don't get me wrong, I like CM Punk, but he is becoming what John Cena became from the Boston Red Sox to New York Yankees.
There
the
it
Evil
is.
Empire. So, like I said, there's a lot of people not happy with it. So, but I can guarantee you, when you're at the Pan Am Center this Saturday night, if you go and you hear the Cult of Personality, and then the song starts, y'all going to be crazy. You're going to be crazy to see CM Punk there. Yes or no? Am I denying it? Yes or no? Am I right? Y'all going to be doing this? Y'all going to be doing Oba Femi? Man.
For Oba, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be, But they all for CM Punk, and that's fine. You know what? If you dig on that, you dig on that. I'm at that certain age right now, guys.
There's my tribal chief as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rain on anybody's parade on anything that they like. If you like what you like, that's cool with me.
There's my tribal chief also.
When Cult of Personality hit on the TNT station, when he first made the return at AWA. I thought that was tremendous. But no, I've got, they talk about Cody fatigue. I've got CM Punk fatigue, and he's been gone for a while and he came back, but I've got CM Punk fatigue.
I think the problem with the intro that they did on Monday Night Raw is that like it kind of took the suspense away. When they show him with the garage lifting up, I mean, it was cool, but like I think it would have been more like if they would have just played the music, people would have gone crazy because they went crazy and then like, oh, it's still going to be another minute before it actually walks in. But nonetheless, like I said, it's controversial. People are calling it like the Hulk Hogan. I think MJF tweeted a picture of Hogan when he won the championship. Was it WrestleMania 8, 9?
It was 8.
8.
It was 8. He was doing the...
Yeah, well, of course, he took it away from after Bret Hart lost to Yokozuna, and then he came in. So, Andy, the other thing, like I said, like, this is going to be a pretty easy show to do because of CM Punk, it's always controversial. Like I said, I still remember, Jack, you weren't with me, right? No, but when they came to, no, I think you weren't with me. I can't remember who was with me. Maybe it was Pinchy Alex. When they came to the Coliseum and CM Punk was the champion, and he threw his T-shirt into the ring, the T-shirt into the stands, and I grabbed it, and I was gonna put it on, and it was a size medium. I was like, what? I didn't expect it to be such. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I actually have a worn CM Punk T-shirt out there somewhere.
That's
like I think it's somewhere in the garage, but I do have that as memorabilia. And it's crazy to think that it's like, what was that, 14 years to the day that he won the championship or whatever. The summer.
He might be a large now.
Yeah. He might be. But knowing like if he wears shorts like yours, bro, it'd be medium. Fonzie does help us and let us know that it is WrestleMania 9. So Andy, I gotta ask you, man, before I'm gonna let you talk about what you want to talk about, is your thoughts on the nWo. It's hard to believe that it's been 30 years since Hulk Hogan turned to the dark side along himself with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. And sadly, of course, Hogan and Hall are no longer with us. I know Kevin Nash put a heartfelt message yesterday, about the nWo turning 30. But Andy, where were you, and what do you remember when that happened?
Well, I don't remember where I was, but I remember how I felt, and it was like the world flipped because the baby face of baby faces. Back then, you call them good guys, bad guys, the heroes. The hero turned into a villain, but the villain was cool. And it was just unbelievable how something like that could happen. It's like, the ultimate stab in the back, the ultimate slap in the face. And I just remember seeing the crowd, throwing any and everything that they could into the ring. And then that became kind of the norm. It just, they almost caused riots, and just the whole business kind of, exploded. And I thought it was fun to be a fan back then because, you're watching two shows at once, and you couldn't decide where you're looking, and you start watching one, but it's like, well, what's happening on the other? And I think it was so good for pushing, professional wrestling to what it is today.
Well, it totally changed everything. I think we all can agree that the state of wrestling, it's basically what it was. It brought all the old fans back, guys like our age. And Jack will subtract about 5 years from you, but all the guys, the people that grew up watching Hulkamania and watching all the wrestling cartoon and all the 80s, and basically maybe beginning of the 90s, somewhere in between there, the WWE lost everybody. I would still watch, of course, WCW and the Mothership and, all that good stuff, Saturday Night Wrestling. But when this happened, it totally changed everything. It became a national phenomenon. Wrestling became cool again. And I think it's something that's never, ever going to be replicated. There's nothing like that because they tried with the Cena thing, but we knew it wasn't going to be anything good because, it's the Hogan being a bad guy lasted about maybe 3 years easily. With Cena, it was about maybe 5 months, 4 months. What wrestled like the whatever the hell whatever that the pay-per-view was before WrestleMania to SummerSlam, you know, was it like 5-6 months, something like that, you know? So it just trying. I remember going to Sunday Park Mall at the top,
The Elimination
at the
Chamber.
peak. Yeah, Elimination Chamber. Thank you. I remember going to Sunday Park Mall and like. Was it Gadzooks? Do they still have that? I mean, at do they still, the Hot Topic, you know?
Yeah, that's the club.
You know, but they just showed you like NWO apparel was everywhere. And because of that, that's the reason why, like back at the at KRD at 600, you know, they gave me the wrestling show. That's the reason why, because of how wrestling was so huge and it became so mainstream, and of course the ratings that. It's crazy when you hear the ratings that Monday Night Raw and WCW are getting. Like at their peak, they're both getting like a 9 share or an 8 share, which is crazy. Nowadays, they would wish just to get something close to that. But it was just crazy when it happened, and it just became a life of its own. It's hard for me to believe that it's been 30 years since that happened. So Felipe says, of course, NWO for life. I was casually watching WCW, but once Hogan turned heel, I was all in. Yep. Greatest heel turn in Impact, of course. And, of course, WWF, WWE had to finally acknowledge WCW, and he will be there and Saturday to support the WWE and CM Punk. I just added that. I added that part in there. Domingo says he's got 2 CM Punk's T-shirts, the best in the world, and Straight Edge Society. And also, he can't believe it's been 30 years since the NWO was formed. Jack, give me your thoughts on the NWO.
Well, where to start? I was a teenager, like you said. There was a little gap, between, you know, our ages here, and you know, I was a teenager. I was coming back. I'll never forget from Tyler, Texas. I flew from Tyler, Texas, back to El Paso. And that's when the pay-per-view was happening. And when I came back, I had no idea. I had no idea it happened. I remember watching, you know, Nitro, and they showed the highlights of what happened. And it was just the still highlights. It wasn't, you know, the footage. It showed the stills of Hogan going to the ring, Hogan in the ring, Hogan dropping the leg, Hogan being the third man. I mean, you got to understand, too, for me, for a kid, that grew up in the late 80s into the 90s, Hogan was the end-all, be-all for me and many other, you know, kids at the time then too. And you know, he still is for me to an extent. So to see that happen, I was, you know, genuinely crushed that, you know, somebody that was a childhood hero could actually do something as dastardly as that. And here's the thing, it made me tune in. It made children tune in. It made everybody tune in. It extended Hogan's career. Years it gave him an extension. And like you said, the merchandise was insane. You started seeing merchandise at general stores. You started seeing
Walmart,
merchandise at the mall. Everywhere. I remember this is one of the first times that I can remember, I can recollect, where I remember seeing Raw. And I remember seeing people in NWO shirts on Monday Night Raw. That's how impactful it was. So it's a great memory. Great memory with great times.
I got to put what Fonzie put up there. He says that at the peak, WCW, Nitro, and WWE, they were taking away from Monday Night Football. And that was unheard of at the time. That's one of the things that they were doing. So the NWO, I love CM Punk. So the NWO, what they did was just amazing because, like you said, we never thought that Hogan was ever going to turn bad. So, and I think that's why it worked so well that he turned bad and he aligned himself with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. And that's the whole storyline. Remember, this is pre-internet. No, internet was around, but it was more like still dial-up. It wasn't as fast. Obviously, there was no social media. So like the news,
we didn't have these.
Yeah, of course, we didn't have a powerful computer in our pocket called the phone. But yeah, it was great to see. And then Felipe says, "Remember the Monday Night Nitro at the Don Haskins Center?" Of course, I do because I was there. You know, it's how long ago it was. I was there. But yeah, I mean, the NWO was just amazing. Everything happened. I mean, I have a bunch of NWO gear like somewhere. I have to go look for it. I remember I bought the about the Hulk Hogan one where like he's in flames, you know, doing the side tricep pose, Jack. You know what I'm talking about.
I know, yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then of course you had the NWO T-shirts. I have an NWO license plate that I actually got made at Cielo Vista Mall, and I literally have it in the garage. I forgot to bring it, but it's there. It's been in the garage next to the painting that you gave me, Jack. It's there, you know. The Batman painting you gave, so they're there. So yeah, I mean it's crazy that you think about what
But
they
you
did.
still have that?
I do. I told you I have
The
it.
Batman painting?
Yeah, I do. I told you. Like next week, I'll bring it up because like if I leave, like it'll be like 2 minutes before I come back, so it'll be too much.
Yeah.
But I thought the NWO like it made wrestling cool again. But the most important thing that it did, it made Vince McMahon change his cartoony version of the WWE and created the Attitude Era, and like Stone Cold is the #1 benefactor and The Rock because of that. So if there was no NWO, there'd be no WWE at the Attitude Era. There'd be no Reserve. There'd be no Rock. There'd be all the movies. All that is because that's what the NWO did. Because all that happened, it forced them to be bad. Bad guys are cool, more risque type of stuff, and there's a lot of reasons why. Once again, like when everybody says who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling, you have to put Hogan in there. There's no excuse. Sure. You have to put Hogan in there because what he did, you know, like in the 80s he made wrestling, and when he turned bad, then late 90s he made wrestling again. So it's crazy. So,
but you want to talk about lasting legacy? I mean, Nash, Austin, Rock, still making residuals from that era. So there you go.
It gave it a sense of realism too. It wasn't hokey, cheesy, you know, Doink the Clown. I mean, those guys were cool and stuff, but the cartoonish characters kind of went away, and more realistic, you know, movie type heel, you know, bad guys, good guys, you know, developed. It was a game changer for sure. One thing I wanted to bring up to you guys, because we're gonna get too far away from soccer, because I won't talk for another 4 years about the World Cup like you, Mando. Yep. But did you notice there was a masked guy on Mexico?
Oh yeah, Grande Americano was there, man. I saw that.
People were going nuts for him.
Yeah,
dude, I mean,
he's awesome. He's become a superstar.
Yeah, it's amazing what's going on with the Grande, and it was quick, especially in the Mexico. I saw him; he was there at every Mexico match, but specifically when he got on TV, it was during the Mexico versus England match, the one that just happened on Sunday, and it was brief. Like it was like maybe because they saw the Grande Americano logo, maybe that's why they kind of like switched it. But
I didn't get to hear it. I was in a bar when that happened. Yeah. Was there a pop for him?
They didn't address him. You know, I mean, but I will say about watching the soccer in Spanish, like. Telemundo, of course, does a tremendous job in Spanish with Andres Cantor. You know, he's the icon of soccer in Spanish. The Fox guys do an okay job in English, you know, because you'll have like an American guy, then you have some British guys, and you know,
the British guys are pretty good too.
Yeah, they're pretty good because they do that all the time. Yeah. But to watch a Mexico match with the guys from TV Azteca doing it, those guys because. Telemundo and Fox, they have to call it. It's kind of like when I do a game on ESPN Plus, like say like if UTEP is playing like NMSU or UTEP's playing Boise State or whatever, I have to call it down the middle because I have to be non-biased. So that's how Telemundo and Fox has to do. But these TV Azteca guys, they're all pro Mexico. So like watching the broadcast with those guys is amazing. They called the England goalkeeper like the devil because he stopped like one of the goal attempts. It was hilarious. I mean, it's funny, you know. But I mean, it's sad that it's only once every 4 years. But at the same time, it's exciting. And the reason why I think it's worked out so great this year is because for us American fans, we get to watch it at a decent time. Like the U.S. is playing like it's like if it's a regular like for us like when the NBA is playing, when the NFL is playing, when Major League Baseball is playing. So it's not like this when they're playing out a different country. Like we got to wake up at 9 a.m. to watch it, or like some other countries or so. I think all that factors, and of course there was a goodwill. But yeah, Andy, like I mean, I always find a respect for soccer because you can tell those people are hardcore. Okay, but that's all we are with wrestling. And that's how we are with football. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but,
what else did you want to? What else did you want to bring up, Andy?
One more thing, and that's over on AWA. I mean AEW.
AEW. Jack's watching right now, so if anything happens, Jack's gonna let us know.
He's straight going right now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Today's the day that Big Show's gonna retire, right? This is his last shot, right?
So they say. Real quick, you had the match between Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Jericho. Tommaso Ciampa won that match, and right now we have the International Championship between Kyle "By God" Fletcher and Takeshita going on right now.
By the way, before I let you say what you're going to say, Andy, it's good to see that El Paso's own Persephone has been on AEW consistently for like the last couple of shows. It's been awesome to see that. So go ahead, Andy. What were you going to say, brother?
Kenny Omega also a little later with MJF. I mean, somehow, some way, whoever comes out of that one, Will Ospreay. It would be nice if MJF loses. And here's why I say MJF. They want to build him, I think, to be a multi-time. He's 3-time champion right now, but to be like a 7, 8, 9-time champion, you got to lose it that many times also.
Yes.
So I can see him dropping it to Kenny tonight, and then Kenny and the Cleaner versus Will Ospreay at Wembley. That'll be a tremendous matchup. And MJF, sprinkle in a couple other losses and wins, and that way he's going to be the undisputed all-time champion for AEW.
I'm curious to see when Toni Storm's going to come back. Because they still haven't given an explanation as to why she's been gone, right?
I think she got injured. I don't know to what extent or what kind of injury, but I think that's what happened with her.
Yeah, because the women's division is doing good, but of course she is like the best on the mic when it comes to the women's division there in AEW. No doubt about it. But like, I was curious to see what's going to happen tonight. That's why honestly, like, this is a shortened edition of the show because we know that AEW is going on right now. Like I said, Jack, go ahead, Jack. Say go. You haven't done it yet. You got to wish your wife a happy birthday. It was yesterday. Go ahead and do it, brother.
Man.
I'm doing it right now. Do that.
She thought it was so cool, by the way. Happy birthday, Heather.
Yes.
Happy birthday, baby. I love you.
Your birthday.
She thought it was so cool. She thought it was so cool when you wished her a happy birthday. She said, "This is the second time Mando has wished me a happy birthday. The first time was long ago on, when he was doing morning.
Yep.
And you wished her a happy birthday." So she has a really good memory, by the way.
She really does. I mean, so like you gotta be careful, brother, what you do, bro, because you'll be hearing about that like years from now.
I'm hearing it now. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna Andy. Before you go, I just remembered because let me give you the whole where they just see you. I do notice you have a UTEP Miners jersey in the back, so we're gonna flip from wrestling to UTEP here, and everybody sees the jersey there. That's the old jersey. So I've got to ask you, Andy, what are your thoughts on the brand new Pay Dirt Pete? Your thoughts, because Jack, did you see how they basically redid Pay Dirt Pete, the new graphics that they did? So, what did you see it, Jack? And first of all, Jack, what did you think? And then we'll get Andy's.
I did. Here's the thing: if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's AI. That's an AI. Model. They can say that they hired this company out of whoop-de-whoop-whoop wherever. That looks Chat GPT generated. And it sucks. I think it sucks.
Andy, your thoughts?
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent. That reminds me of Mighty Mouse, actually, the little pose right there. But it's, he's got the hard hat.
Yeah, I like the pose because it's like the old Pay Dirt Pete. It's something that you're going to have to get used to. And we're just bringing it up because, like I said, Andy has the jersey behind. Let me Let me do this. Yeah. So yeah.
Mondo, guys,
yes, sir.
he looks like he drinks IPAs, cries himself to sleep after a night with his woman, and he looks like the type that he would take his wife's last name.
Well, the one thing I don't know about all that.
Oh.
The one thing I will say is that he looks like somebody that you would find in El Paso. Like he looks like somebody that would be from El Paso. And I guess at the end of the day, yeah, like it looks like somebody that
Pepe.
would be from El Paso. Like like. So I mean, curious. So I just thought that your thoughts on that, Andy, because I saw that and Derek.
I like it better than that squished. He didn't even have a face really. It was like a triangle on its end.
The old one, the one from
Yeah.
I love that one. That's like hold up, I do.
Do you have it, Monster?
I can like you're talking about this one.
That one, yeah. I think it's a little bit better than that.
I love this one. Hold up, let me try to get that. Yeah, no, I love that one. I don't know why. That's for me. That's the favorite one. But
maybe you have some of the likeness on if you turn wearing that hat to the side.
Yeah. Derek is bummed that there's no Battle I-10. So hopefully, yep. I mean, we're gonna have to wait to see in a couple of years about that. So yeah. Fonzie is laughing at what Jack said. So yeah, I'm just curious. Like I said, it's gonna take time. The one thing about it, when there's change, a lot of people don't like change, and we've got to get used to it. But
do we though? When it's a clear ChatGPT generated image?
Hey, the funny thing is that when it came to NMSU's, what do they call it? The NMSU guy, Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
Really, like the pizza place?
Oh man, he's been around longer than that.
I know that.
Longer than that. Come on now. Come on now.
You're telling me they're both called Pete? Why am I barely realizing this? Are you really?
Why did you say the name Martha? Martha, why did you say that name?
And they look like brothers, the mascots.
Well, like Norman, they both have the same name.
You truly do learn something every day,
Pete and Pete.
Wow. Anyway, so all right, so we got like this, but it's Andy. He had the UTEP jersey there, brother. So, by the way, what do you think about the black uniform? I love it.
I like that too.
Yeah. So I think by the way, insiders, they've been wanting a black uniform for years. That's one thing the football team always asked for the last 5 years, 6 years. They've been wanting a black uniform for years, so they finally got it.
Wear it in the sunlight because they're going to be hotter than you know what.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, as long as the number is easy to read, it'll be good. All right, Andy, I appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, next week, or all that good stuff. So there is Andy there, and we started talking about UTEP stuff there. But it is what it is. So do we have any updates as to what's going on in AEW since the last time we talked about that?
Still got the match. This is actually a banger of a match right now between Takeshita and Kyle. So this is really, really good right now. So that's still the second match that we have going on.
Recap, and like I said, this is going to be a short show. Like I said, once we get Fonzie on, after that, we're going to cut it off because like AEW is on. And that's the reason why when we started the show, thinking about what day we're going to do the show, is going to be a Tuesday. And the reason why we didn't do, I know CW is on the, what is it called that? NXT. The reason why we didn't do Wednesday, because Wednesday was the day that we normally would do it, like back in the day, is because AEW is on. It starts at 6 o'clock. So out of respect to AEW, that's the reason why we don't do the show normally on a Wednesday. So that's the reason why. But nonetheless, to recap, once again, CM Punk is the champion. And like I said, it affects us here locally because of that house show that's going to happen. In a good way, in a very good way. CM Punk is now coming to Las Cruces. When they announced this, like, we didn't think CM Punk was going to be here, so he's going to be here. So now, I'm curious to see how many more tickets are going to be sold, because the last time we checked about 2 weeks ago, and I'll be honest with you, I have not checked today to see how many tickets are left. There are still a bunch of the $65, $68 ones, but, normally Las Cruces is kind of like El Paso, where you're like a day of walk up crowd.
Yep.
You know, so
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, I think it. But there's a lot of stuff happening on Saturday. You know, there's going to be 2 World Cup games happening on Saturday, 2 semifinal matches. And then also for the people that are MMA fans, you know, whether you like them or not, also very controversial, Conor McGregor's making his return to the UFC, and it's been like 5 years. The last time we saw him doing anything was against Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse, you know.
Yeah.
So, Jack, your thoughts? Are you excited at all to see? I know a lot of people like. I have the same level of interest of seeing Conor McGregor fight just like I did Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. I'm as interested to see that because I want to see how he's been since the last 5 years. Remember the big injury, got the broken leg. It's been a long time, you know, since we've seen him. So, Jack, your thoughts on what we're going to see this Saturday with the Conor McGregor fight?
I'm going to be very short and sweet and to the point with this. I have no desire, I have no care to see a convicted predator, a sexual predator, and Conor McGregor fight in the octagon. It's true. You look it up. He was found liable of, you know, I'll say the R word out there. You know, he's a scumbag. He is the worst of the worst. I really don't give a crap about seeing him in the octagon.
So you'll be watching the World Cup then, is what you're saying.
I'll be watching the World Cup.
And AEW Collision, so what you're saying. All right, so it's cool. Like I said, that's the beauty of the show. Like everybody has their own opinion, you know. So, and I remember when he did all the crazy stuff against the guy that
Jose
destroyed
Aldo?
him. No, the guy that destroyed him. That he was talking all this smack leading up to. with
Khabib.
Yeah, Khabib with the bus, and
Yeah.
then Khabib absolutely destroyed him. And then I saw the
he was talking to him in the middle of the beatdown. He's talking to him like, "Let's talk now. You want to talk? Let's go." Yeah.
All right, so we're about to bring in Fonzie and Jack. We all know Fonzie's a big Hulk Hogan fan, so that means he's a big NWO guy. So I'm curious to see what he's gonna show us once we go to him. So let's go to Fonzie, and Fonzie's got a NWO. He's got the all the what do we call these
the
things?
3. The 4. The bobble.
Yeah.
The
bobble.
Not bobble. The Funko. The Funko.
The
Pops.
Funko. There you go. So Fonzie, we see it, brother. That's
It's the
thing.
4. Who is
Well,
it?
it is Hollywood, baby, brother. You know it is, brother. Let me put it perfectly clear, man. Hollywood is here, live on Slammin' It, bro. 30 years ago, right? Do y'all remember? You know what?
Sweet bandana.
Hey, where'd you get? Wait, let me stop you. Let me stop you. Where did you get the bandana? Have you had it for 30 years? Did you order it, or
I've had it for that long, man. It's been in a pouch. It was perfect time to take it out, man. Coming out of retirement.
Do me a favor, Fonzie. Move a little bit to your left. Your other left. There you go. There you go. Right there. We can see you now. So obviously, Fonzie, the NWO was as big to you as it was to me. Jack, honestly, I don't know how big it was to you, but for me, it was huge. The NWO, like
Of course, it was huge.
I was totally black and white. You know, like everything. You know, I even had the. I didn't buy one of the NWO caps. I had the Buff Bagwell one. Remember the one, the Buff Bagwell one? Like
yes, I had that. I had the same one too.
You know, like it looks like the ones that you used to golf in, that people golf in. You know, when you wear it right, but he would wear it backwards. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is. And like, I remember like my girlfriend at the time, with almost 30 years ago, I remember I bought her remember the WB store at Cella Vista Mall when they had like a bunch of, they had like a Taz that was like all NWO, and she was a fan of Taz, the cartoon character. I remember I bought her a Taz thing. I don't know how honestly that helped out or anything, but still, like the merchandise was just crazy. Fonzie, what other stuff from the NWO do you have that you can remember from the top of your head?
Oh man, I had posters of them. I you know those pennants, like the football pennants. I had
yeah.
You know, I had a couple of shirts from them. Of course, you know, wear and tear. That wasn't going to last 30 years, unfortunately. Had the six shirt as well. You know, the Outsider shirt, the regular NWO. I have I got to reorder the Hollywood one, the Hollywood Rules with the lightning bolt or flyer in the background, man.
Yeah.
NWO's been great, man. It changed the whole business. When you were talking about where were you, man, I was remembering watching this, one of the greatest moments to watch it, because I watched it with my dad. I used to watch this, my dad passed away about in 2012, 14 years ago. So watching wrestling's a little bit different.
Yep.
But, we loved it when he became the bad guy, because, if you know the Hulk Hogan story, everybody always turned on him. So, when he said stick it, that was great. That was really
stick it, brother.
I remember I know I've been talking about it, but I never mentioned where I was. I was in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, or California. No, I lived in the California side, because Lake Tahoe is like both. There's a Lake Tahoe, Nevada, Lake Tahoe, California. I was working at a casino there.
Dealing blackjack.
Yeah, I was a blackjack dealer. That was the summer job from my EPCC that they got me the job out there. And I remember that the roommate that I had, his name was Gus, and he was a wrestling fan too. More me than him. So we had like the little cable box, and we bought the Bash at the Beach, and we couldn't believe what happened. Then, of course, the very next day on Monday Night Nitro, where they talked about all the stuff you were talking about, Jack and Andy were talking about the stills, and they talked about it. It's amazing. And from there, that's where I was. So I was in Lake Tahoe, California, because I lived on the California side. But yeah, it was great to see. So Fonzie, what does it mean to you? Because Fonzie's been wanting to talk about NWO for a long time, Jack. So this is his opportunity. Because when we started the show, Fonzie was like, "Dude, I want to talk about NWO." I was like, "You gotta wait, dog. It's not the time yet." when we get to the 30th anniversary, which was yesterday. Now is your time, Fonzie. Not in character, Fonzie. Just as you, like, what did he mean to you? Yeah, what did he mean to you, dude? But don't get me wrong. I love the fact that you came out in character. That was awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Come out in character.
Yeah. So, what did it mean to you?
NWO really put a big shot to the whole wrestling industry. Without the NWO, there's no DX. Now, the NWO took it off the Four Horsemen. For so long, the Four Horsemen were the excellence of what a faction was all about. But the NWO just took it to a different level. And it made wrestling in the style that they did and how they changed it more lifelike, real-like. Like you said, you had said the cartoonish characters, the Vince McMahon characters were kind of getting brushed to the side, and that was also happening in WCW. And they were coming out as real, lifelike, and you could relate. A lot of guys, it was the dark side that you would find the dark side in yourself. You know what? And 30 years ago, man found the dark side. It was Take No Prisoners. A couple of years later, I joined the service, and it makes you a different person. It gives you that different ego. Man, back then, I'll tell you this, I had the biggest ego. I had a Hollywood ego, brother. But it was a great time. It was a great time in wrestling all around, switching back and forth. You just didn't know who's trying to one-up everybody. The one show that I remember that always will stand clear, and I'm pretty sure it was for you guys, where Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were in the back throwing Rey Mysterio like a dartboard, trying to throw him in there,
I remember that.
That was some good stuff. I mean, that was good wrestling. And Mondo's on the dot. I don't think it'll ever be duplicated. Even as close as they try to, it will never get there because they don't have the biggest star being the biggest bad guy and eventually becoming the biggest face again.
Because the guy that was John Cena, and like I said, they did it when everybody knew it was going to be his last year. So like everybody, like when he did it, it was like, oh my God, But like honestly, I think if they would have done the thing where The Rock would have joined Cena, and instead of them abandoning that whole angle, like if they would have done something with Rock and then somebody else would have joined Cena, like I don't know who off the top of my head who would have joined them, then it could have become a big thing, like a big deal. But I think
that would have been a big a big boost to the system.
Because the only guy you could compare that would be the ultimate good guy that finally turned bad. But by the way, don't get it twisted. I remember when John Cena was here in El Paso, and Eddie Guerrero was, I believe, the U.S. champion. And
we were there.
And we were there, and John Cena was the bad guy. Remember, Jack, that he was.
People forget that he was a heel.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. Yeah.
But you also got to remember. You remember how cool he was backstage. Remember, he was cool, and Eddie came to see us. He didn't need to be back there. He came just to say hi to everybody. So,
yeah. So,
guys,
go ahead, Jack.
I just wanted to add to there's so many great memories. It was such a cultural shift when that happened. You got to remember, for a guy my age at the time in high school, going into middle school, into high school, you started seeing guys wearing nWo shirts. You're like, wow, how did you get that? How'd you get that? Oh, through the catalog, brother. We ordered it through the catalog. And you waited 2 weeks for it to come in. And, this is where we went out of our way to get merchandise from the catalog. And you saw that more and more. You would turn on the NFL Sunday and you would see the athletes wearing nWo t-shirt. And then you saw more swerves. You saw more heel changes. One that sticks out in my mind, of course, is when Scott Steiner turned on his brother Rick when the dog face gremlin was he's standing above him, and then he looks at both Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, winks at him, and then hits his brother, and he turns.
And Big Papa Pump was born. So it's just so many. I mean, it's just a shame that they weren't able to keep it up the way it did. It's honestly a shame that the WCW is not around the way it was, because of course, like me, I remember when there was the NWA, and then of course the Saturday Night, the Mothership. But if it wasn't because of that, there'd be no. By the way, before I forget, if you can watch the Dark Side of the Ring, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because since when Vince bought WCW, there was no more NWO, none of that stuff until like they came back. But Jeff Jarrett is the guy that brought up TNA, and of course, we think about TNA. TNA's coming to El Paso December 17th and 18th. By the way, Nick Nemeth is a champion. We talked about that. That was going to happen. Good for him. Mike Santana should be in WWE in a couple of months, couple of weeks. Great guy as well, Mike Santana. Good for him. We're happy for him. I've met him a couple of times. Very nice guy. Very grateful for the stuff that we do. But if it wasn't for Jeff Jarrett, there would be no TNA. And the continuation of all these other wrestlers, like because Hogan was there, Sting was there, and of course. So anyways, the whole thing I'm trying to bring up is if you can watch the Dark Side of the Ring, because I think the first episode dropped, and that's only when I saw 2 of them. Okay,
it's a 2-parter. Yep.
Okay, it's actually going to be a 3-parter. But I've only seen the first part. I only had the chance to watch the first part of the history of TNA. So if you watch the dark, what is it called? I know it's the Dark Side of the Ring, but I'm trying to remember the channel.
The Vice channel.
Vice channel. It's on Vice. So if you can, they always do a great job with the Dark Side of the Ring. Watch the Jeff Jarrett, the TNA thing that they just released, because
it's been great so far.
It's been great. And that whole series of the Dark Side of the Ring, they got some bangers. They're all bangers. They do a good job.
All of them. It shows how dastardly Dixie Carter was so far in the movie. But if you haven't seen it, guys, anybody out there watching, please, catch up. You got to watch it. It's worth it.
You need to see the one of Muhammad. I can't remember the last name, but the character Muhammad. Because for me, I like, he was one of the best characters out there at the time, and it's a shame that he was just doing his job.
Show when that happened.
And the fact that they basically had to fire him because he was just doing his job perfectly. Because the guy's from New York, New Jersey, he wasn't even, what he
and he's Italian.
He was just acting.
Exactly.
He was just acting. But if you go watch that episode of The Dark Side of the Ring, because it's pretty amazing. Fonzie, what else before we wrap it up? Because I don't want to cut too much into AEW. We're already going on an hour, brother.
Well, before we hang out here, let's just take a little survey. Hey, you know why we're here, and everybody knows who the bad guy is. But Chico, we want to know, have you missed the nWo the last 30 years? Well, my survey says yes. because there will never be another one like them.
I agree with that. Fonzie, thank you, brother.
Bring
Thank
it up.
you, sir.
Bring it up, Fonzie.
There you go.
Give it
There
up
you go.
there. The too sweet side.
All right, Fonzie. Thank you,
All
brother.
right.
I appreciate you, Fonzie. We'll see you, brother.
Gotcha. Whoosh.
There it is.
By the way,
Fonzie.
real quick, another update, Monster. So Kyle Fletcher beat Takeshita with he is now the international champion. He beat him with a top rope brainbuster onto the turnbuckle.
That is amazing.
That is a move that El Generico did to, Jack, what's his name? If you can Google search El Generico top rope brainbuster, that is the last move. That is the finisher that Kyle Fletcher did to Takeshita, and now he's the champion.
Trivia, Olivia, trivia, he was a former WWE champion. That lasted only 9 days.
9 days.
9 days.
Gotta love Steve Fun.
So there you go. All right, Jack. Good job as always. You watch the AEW, and we'll do it again next week, brother. All right.
All right, man. I'm
All right,
looking
so
forward
good
to it
job.
always.
All right, bro. And thanks for doing it on Wednesday. Because I know you have stuff going on. So nonetheless, enjoy the show. If you're going on Saturday, everybody, if you do go to the show, let us know how it is next week. So for Jack, for Fonzie, for Andy, and everybody watching, thanks so much. Mando Medina, Jack Lutz.
Wait. Like and subscribe.
Oh yes. Hold up.
Like and subscribe.
There it is. Like and subscribe with the. I do have one where he's posing, but I don't know where it's at. I have to look for it. But nonetheless, like and subscribe. All right, Jack. We'll do it again next week. Thanks so much, everybody. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.